it sounds hard to believe now, but really there was something going on 7 nights a week, wasn't there?
Yeah.
If you know, it might be in different areas and different spots, but there was always something going on.
And always albums coming out. I'd always go down to Tracks Records.
I was going to ask you.
That was in a basement, wasn't it?
Yeah, well,
in Chinatown, was it?
Not really. It was in Frith Street and Greek Street or Frith Street.
Oh no, I know what you mean. It's Frith Street.
Frith Street.
No, it was Greek Street.
Greek Street. And that's where Chris used to work. He used to be one of the DJs in the Catacombs. Anyway.
Right. Okay.
So you'd sort of go over and ask him what you were actually was playing, then you'd go and buy it, and you'd stand there and swap stories about who was playing this. That's where I got all my stuff from. Tracks. It was the biggest import place until I think the other record stores, sort of like Harlequin Records, got. Do you remember Harlequin? They suddenly got in on the act and they started importing all the stuff.
They started having them on the shelves.
Yeah, they did. Tracks was for the Queens.
Yeah. Oh God, absolutely. Yeah. No, I mean Tracks has only been gone a few years. It's been there. It was an institution, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It really was. And Record Shack for a while.
That was the 80s though for me, and that was in
Berwick Street.
Yeah. But they, you know, for the Hi Nrg imports, it was quite.
And again, Chris worked there because he moved from Tracks to there. I suddenly remember because I would go in there and buy all my Modern Talking albums from him. Yeah.
And who were the main DJs in that era?
Well, it is Chris and the Catacombs for me. Tallulah was very big, you know, at the time. I mean, you know, he's dead now. He died last year, didn't he? He was great because I got on his nerves actually because I'd always go if I'd listened to like a Donna Summertime, I'll play it again because that was the last thing you said to
yes,
somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
They were never going to play it again.
Don't disturb the groove.
But no.
Yeah, I'd be seriously worried if Alan Jones was hanging around the decks.
Yeah.
I was trying to find. You know, you're trying to see what's this track. I'm trying to write it down to remember. You know, stoned haze, thinking I must remember this track.
Do you still go clubbing?
Well, if I've turned my bedroom actually is full of posters, mirror balls. So if dancing around my bedroom constitutes that, no, I don't know. I mean, it's not the same to me.
Yeah.
I wish it was. It's not the same. I mean, I don't get that feeling of community.
No.
Perhaps I'm wrong, but for me personally, I mean, I lost a lot of friends because of the era, and I just don't know too many people now who go to these. So, you know, so no.
I think you're right about the community thing though, because everything's become so kind of like separated.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to hear one kind of, you know, in the disco era, you would go to a disco and hear all this kind of music.
Yeah.
Now you have to go to 1 or 2 hours of that.
Yeah.
2 hours at this club.
And it's all
very
that.
Yeah, and it's all very clicky.
Like,
I don't know. Maybe it's just our age.
I'm never leaving, darling. When you're not.
I mean, you know, people rave about the horse meat disco and stuff like that, but I don't know. You know. I'd rather listen to these albums in the quiet of my own home, frankly.
Yeah. Well, that sort of brings me really to the next point, and I'll put exactly re-listening to these tracks again. Do you think we'll ever get those kind of standards of production again, or do you think that's a one-off kind of era? It's almost like when you listen to all those kind of orchestras, they could never afford to do that.
They'd never be able to get an orchestra into a studio these days. I mean, I don't even probably even have the studio the size to fit them in.
Having said that, every now and again, I mean, I'm talking sort of real mainstream Eurodisco, current stuff. I'm talking about the DJ Bobos and the Gunthers and the BWOs. I actually think their levels of productions are fabulous. Find out, people tell me.
Oh, right,
you know, they say, you know, you've got to listen to this. You know, these days of networking, they go this track, listen to this person. Right. I mean, Mark was going on about Lindstrom and you know.
Lindstrom.
Do you know Mark's a really enthusiast?
He always tells me what to listen to.
The Lindstrom album is awesome.
And Aeroplane, you know, the Belgian lot.
Yeah.
And he's saying to listen to this, and so I'm you know, I'm okay. I don't go to clubs anymore, but I really keep my finger on what's actually happening out there, and I think because we're disco lovers. It's all disco to me. This is club music. It's dance music. Don't care what people call it. This is what I want to listen to.
But just going back to your question, I think, you know, the fact that they had orchestras and stuff like that, I just don't think that will ever happen.
No, it can't.
You know, Paul McCartney would probably get an orchestra into us recording into Abbey Road to do his classical work. It's possible.
But there was a depth of sound and a lushness and I just the feeling of it. You could really make the difference.
It's almost like it's the difference between real strings and synth strings.
Yeah.
You can always automatically tell, can't you?
Even these days, when they're really good, you can still tell. The whole disco vibe came out of a depression. Really did, a recession. You know, with the 4-day week and people using candles because the electricity wasn't on. All that.
People say that, you know. I will say this, but I was never conscious of that.
No,
I really wasn't. I mean, the whole real world didn't really impact on anything I was doing.
No, but that's, you were already kind of like
involved in it all.
Exactly.
So it's very because people, and I still don't remember the 3 days. People say that to me, and I'm going, really? I never ever remember it being impacting on what I was doing.
Yeah.
I don't at all, neither. You know.
Never remember.
Well, I don't, because I was only a kid. So,
in short little pants.
I still wear them now.
I'd like to kind of round it off and ask you both, really, what were the key things from the disco era which made it such an important period in dance music history?
I'm going to go back to the community aspect of it. The happiness I felt just being in a club dancing to this sort of music. It felt so unique. It felt so different. I mean, when something new came out, you know, wow, this track's going on a really long time. Wow, this is something, you know. It all felt so new and so fantastic, and that's what I love about it. It was all, I think I've always been that way now. I mean, I've always looked for the next thing, the next big thing, the new. I think actually that has sort of instilled it in me. I'm almost sure. I think it's that whole anything can happen, anything is possible vibe. That's what I felt from the time.
Nothing I wanna hold you. I never ever should have told you.
The things that really kind of made it for me were literally seeing these things on Top of the Pops, rushing out and buying the records, because they were just the records that suddenly they'd just come onto Top of the Pops, and I'd never heard them before, because when you're a kid you don't see them, do you?
Which ones in particular?
Donna Summer, I Feel Love was one.
Well, I mean, that's,
that just kind
of
of
a groundbreaking
it
record.
Was, and as a as a child, you just like, what on earth is that? You know, as soon as you hear that. Crazy things like Boney M, you know, when you're a kid, you don't know, you know, Boney M. Cool. Probably a cheesy moment, Baccarat, Yes Sir, I Can Boogie.
That's a masterpiece. That's
yes, it is. We are.
To a soda time.
We don't look.
I'll argue the merits of Yes Sir, I Can Boogie. So I tell you, I have every single track ever done by Baccarat, and I will never ever slag them. I adore them. Every time they appear, I go and see them, and they are still fantastic. That is one of my favourite tracks.
God, the next thing you guys will be telling me is that you like Bette Midler.
Nights in Black Leather. That's the one you should get for this. Oh my nights in black leather. Fabulous.
Look, if we're going to go through cliches, I like Barbra Streisand, Betty Davis, Joan Crawford, Disco, ABBA,
and Piers Adora.
Oh, Piers Adora. We didn't get to talk about poor Piers.
There's an idea for the next series.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the thing. There's so many ideas to do. You could go down any route with this series, which is what's so good about it. I think.
Yeah.
You know,
you and I both share that idea. You know, we're not talking
about an idea we have.
We've got the idea. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
Which is a fantastic idea.
Which I would love to do. Because there is still like a huge amount out there that people don't know about.
I mean, and it's a lot of tracks on there. There's over 160 tracks over all the albums, but 160 tracks came out each week in those days, didn't they? So much stuff still to do.
Well, on that tantalising note, we'll have to remind you that the next 4 Disco Discharge albums, which are Diggin Deeper, European Connection, Disco Boogie and Pink Pounders, will be in the shops and available, I guess, throughout May and June.
That's right.
When they're all going to drop. Gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure, and hopefully we're going to see yet more subgenres coming up in the future. But I'd like to thank both David Akerman, aka Mr. Pinks, and Alan Jones, disco expert extraordinaire, for joining us today. And watch out for the releases.